Okay, so, hi. Um, I thought in this video we'd do another free-form drawing like we did before, and I called it a placemat or a coloring project or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I thought we'd get away from the more structured drawing that we'd been working on of the map, and just kind of calm it down a little bit and do a free-form, let's see what happens kind of thing. I have a general idea of what I'd like to do, but it's not all set in stone. So there we are. I know I want to base this on kindness. That's what Scooter Town's about, and it is being kind is a character trait, but it's also a value, and it happens to be one of the most important values I hold dear. Meaning, I don't believe in treating people poorly. I don't believe in lying. I don't believe in bullying. I don't believe in being nasty or mean. But being kind isn't just about the other person. It is a primary point to the value, being kind to others. But we also have to learn to be kind to ourselves. And that means eating well, not eating junk food, not eating candy and cookies and potato chips and things that just make you feel bad. Make you feel bad inside, and also they make you feel bad about yourself. They make your body feel bad, and they don't do anything to help lift you as a person. I was never taught that as a child, and now I know. Excuse me. The candy and cookies and sugar cereal and all that may feel nice for a few minutes, but then over time, they make your body and your mind sick, and they make your emotions go all over the place. They're not good. They're not good for you. It's as bad as being bullied, only we're bullying ourselves. It's as bad as belittling, putting someone down, but we're putting down ourselves. So being kind has a range. Being kind to yourself can be exercise, having quiet time, getting enough sleep, learning to rest, getting new shoes if you can, when you need them. That's something I don't do, or I don't like buying things. So, but my feet need to be held correctly. They need to be comforted when I walk. I spend most of my day on my feet, so I have to remember to be kind to me. And so I'm just reminding people to be kind to themselves as well as to others, especially when others are bullying or belittling. Because when they're bullying and belittling and lying and projecting horrible things on you, oh my poor feather, they're not just hurting you, they're hurting everyone around you, and they're hurting themselves. And they will have to repair themselves the same way when you eat junk food and candy and cookies and sugar cereal, and you don't exercise and you sit in front of the television or play video games. They have to repair themselves eventually the same way you have to repair yourself for doing all those bad things to yourself, or you'll get very, very, very sick. So I want to do something around be kind, because it is an important tenet to have, an important mantra to say, be kind, be kind, be kind. Use kindness, that's all, for yourself and everyone around you. So what I thought was we'd start off with one of our funny squares, where it's at all angles. I'm trying to find a good lighting on this, and I can't today. Let me draw it. Do I have to draw it a little bit darker? Just draw a shape. It can be, actually, you know what? Let's turn this into an oval. I do love squares. I love the symbolism and ideas of squares. But let's make it a little bit more fun. Let's turn it into an oval, or a circle if you like. Okay? Just like that. And now I've drawn a line down the middle, so I can split the letters up and they're even. And then, so I've drawn a line down the middle so everything's even, the lettering is even. And then I've drawn one, let's do it this way. There we go. So we'll have be kind, okay? And I'll show you how I draw my letters. I don't try and make them quote-unquote perfect. I like to make them a little funky, like old-time cartoony. Lettering that was popular a very long time ago. So I've got my B. Notice how the upper part of the B is a little bit bigger than the under part of the B, the lower part. And then the E. And you see how I dropped that crossbar in the E down? I like the way it feels. It feels more friendly. And then, so I've split, rather, the B on one side of that center line, which is no longer a center line, but put the B on one side of the center line, the E on the other. Kind has 4 letters, but one of them is small. The I is very small, so instead of having K, I, and D, I'm going to kind of shift the N to that center bar. You'll see. Just play along with a crazy lady. Oops. I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. See my K, where I've made the top part larger than the bottom part? It just feels more friendly. Okay, maybe a little hard to see now, but that's what we've got. I think I have to make this K a little bit smaller and shift it over just a bit, because I did crowd the I in there. I'm trying to cram it in for no particular reason. So there we go. We've got be kind. Okay, and all right, let's start the lettering on that, because the rest of it's going to be free form, meaning we're going to trust in ourselves and trust in our pens. Let's take the fat pen, make the back line for B. We're going to make a second parallel line for B, the B. We're going to do the top curvy bit, and then the bottom curvy bit. Okay? And in the top curvy bit, we're just going to draw a line in the upper oval and then in the lower oval. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you how I write. Same thing on the E. I've made a parallel line from the outside line, the original line, made a parallel line there. So those are going to be the little fat bits. Kind of like my tummy right now. Same thing on the K. Oops. Same thing on the I. 2 parallel lines. And on the N, I have to move my N over just a little bit. On my N, we want the fat parallel lines, the parallel lines in the middle, not on the ends, in the middle. It'll make sense in a minute. Then we're going to do the D. Doink, doink, barn, Okay. Oh, and with this, duplicating the D with a line coming down there. Let's take our skinny pen. We're gonna make the lines. Let me make sure you can see. We're gonna do the lines that we do. Oh, I can't write that way. We're all shading. See, now when I was a kid, we had a candy drawer. We had a pantry full of cookies and sugar cereal and all kinds of junk. We also had fruit, but our family, and fruits and vegetables, but our family didn't really put a value on eating fruits and vegetables. It was a different time, and my mom had a lot of kids, so there was a lot of butter and sugar and all that, but no one really explained the difference. And then when I got bigger and bigger and I gained weight, they got mean about it. Okay, so, and I had, there we are. So I put the lines in, we just kind of shaded it in. We're gonna add a little doink, doink, doink right on the bottom of the K, a little boink, boink, boink right up there. Kind of finishing those lines off. A little boink, boink, boink on the N, boink, boink, boink on the other side of the N. And then maybe I want to do a drop down on the D. A B, rather. Dropping down little lines. It feels nice. Feels like little hands. I'm going to do the same thing on the E and the D. Just little drop down lines like those. Doink, 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 doink. Okay. And then we're going to finish off that top of the K with their own little lines. You can do this if you want to, you don't have to. I'm also going to put little lines in, taking a skinny pen, kind of putting little lines around some of the lettering, because I like the way it feels. It feels fresh. It feels like it's been sketched in. It feels more spontaneous, like you just kind of did it. See? Just the skinny lines. They're not highly visible, but they kind of are. The mind sees them, the heart feels them, and it feels lighter. That's what I like about it. Oop. Just kind of made a mess there, but it's okay. Oop. Made a little mess there. It's okay. Sorry. Be kind. We could do that as shading, but I don't want to get into that today. All right, I don't know what we're going to do as the circle. Why don't we just do our dots and dashes and lines? Boink, 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 boink. Wee. Boink, 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 boink. Wee. Boink, 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 boink. Wee. Boink, 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 boink. Wee. Wee. Boink. So that's what I've got. It's an imperfect oval because I did dots and dashes. It feels pretty finished. It's funny, it's light. I'm being kind to myself by not worrying about it. Okay, so now comes the spontaneous drawing, and I really want to do feathers because kindness should feel light. It should make your heart feel light, and it should make the recipient's heart feel light. If there is a recipient besides you being kind to yourself, although if you're kind to yourself, you'll feel light as well. So we're going to be drawing feathers. Feathers, once again, have little broken bits. They're not one big solid. I'm going to show you an illustration I did once before using feathers. So we're going to kind of duplicate this just a little bit. Okay, we've got a center line, and again, this is just like one big rounded triangle. Watch. With the broken bits of the feather. See how I did like a rounded triangle, or yeah, one rounded triangle at the top? It's soft, it's light, it's fine. And I have little feathery bits coming off. We'll have more of those in a minute. Ready? Let's do other ones. You know what I think? No, never mind. I'm not going to think about it. We're not going to think. We're just going to draw. So we've got triangles. A triangle. And then light bits of the feather coming off. Light bits of the feather coming off. Okay? I'm going to turn my paper. Always turn the paper, just like we turn our paintings in my other videos, so that you're seeing things from all angles. Boink, boink. Whoop. I'm not sure I like that feather yet as much. It'll be okay. So it's just keep doing that. And you don't have to make broken bits on your feathers. It's just I happen to like them. I find them interesting. Oh, there's another one. See how one side of the triangle kind of drops down and the other side breaks up? Yeah. Just like feathers. Watch. They're imperfect. There's nothing in life is perfect. Not even people who tell you they are. And sometimes I'll put little lines down and just sticking out, because that's how the feather breaks up. Look. The feather breaks up, but these little bits right here will break off like hair. And they can be sticking in all kinds of directions. Look, little bits right there. Okay. Right here. Okay. All right, let's just draw feathers. Blah, blah, blah. Don't just be a Sasquatch, be Sasquatchy. Oh no, that's not it. Sassy Squatch. Don't just be a Sasquatch, be a sassy Squatch. So let's draw our feathers like a sassy Squatch running through the woods. Whee! Let me make sure you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now remember, we're going to go over these with a small pen, so don't worry too much, because it's gonna even out and it's gonna feel so friggin' good when you're done. Did I just say that? One thing I had considered before I started the video was drawing a border. So it's not just boom boom, a piece of paper with a drawing on it. But let's see how this goes, shall we? Shall we? That was Bugsy talking. Shall we? P.S. By the way, Bugsy is on an antibiotic and a painkiller, and he's feeling a lot better. He's still very, very, very sick. See that feather? Totally different than the others, and it's okay. He is still very, very, very sick, but he's feeling better. He can eat now. couldn't eat there for a while. I was spoon feeding him, literally. Get my little spoon and put food on it and try and get him to eat. Yeah, that's not the best feather I've ever drawn. Notice how I'm turning the paper? Because we want this to feel flowy. We don't want everything pointed in the same direction. Just like we don't need or want our feathers to all look alike, we don't need everything pointed in the same direction. Now look, I'm drawing a couple of feathers like this where they are solid, but then we've got those little bits of feathers sticking out the bottom. There's another one there. Just so they're not, I don't know, just to break it up. Be light like feather. One of the greatest compliments I get is at work. And I work a job where we're supposed to talk people into buying things, and I don't do that. I find out what they want, what they need, and I give them information. And they walk out the door with a handful of information that I've given them. But what I like to do is listen to people, hear their concerns, hear their complaints, but I just listen. And that's part of my value that is really important to me. It's just being kind, listening. And one of the nicest things people say to me all day long is, "You're so kind. I want to buy from you because you were just kind to me." And I'm not doing it so they'll spend money with me and I'll look good and I'll get a pat on the back from the boss, which I don't. Anyway, it's just, it makes me feel better that I helped someone who felt vulnerable. Because they're walking to a store, they don't know if they can trust anyone. Who's going to lie to them? Who's going to try and cheat them out of money, which we don't where I work. We all try and be kind. It makes me happy. Simply just be kind to people. Okay, I think I've got enough feathers in here. So I'm going to start drawing circles, which are my favorites. Ready? This is what my paper looks like. I've got feathers absolutely everywhere. Do I need any more? Do I need one right there? Maybe. It's getting a little crowded, but that's okay too. That's kind of fun. I'm drawing my middle line again. Sorry, I haven't been talking about shapes. I'm talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, I think I'll do another one here. Line down the middle. Kind of a triangle with feathers sticking out. Doop, doop, doop. I'm babbling again like an old lady. But when I'm being kind, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm so wonderful. I am with that person and I am trying to sit with their heart, hear them, and help them just by being there. I think I've got an empty spot there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I had a lady yesterday who just didn't want anybody talking to her. She was convinced everybody was a con man and that I was trying to con her. So I just let her be, but I had to check on her. She got really mad. It's my job. So I went to check on her. She got super mad. But there's nothing I can do about that. She wasn't being a bully. She wasn't intentionally being mad. She was trying to, or being mean. She was just protecting herself. And that's just how it goes. But if you see monsters everywhere, there will be monsters everywhere. Okay, so now we're going to draw circles. Ready? And we can do them as dots and dashes, just like that. Remember, we're doing free-form drawing. We're not going to plan. We're just doing. A friend of mine said something really interesting the other day, or last week, I think it was. It was a friend of mine at work. She said, we all have monsters. What we do is we can invite them to the table. We just don't feed them. I thought that was really brilliant. So the circles are in all different shapes, all different sizes, pardon me. They can be big, they can be little. We can have more than one in a space, like I'm drawing right there. You see? I have 3 there, I have 1 there. You can draw as many or as few as you like. It's up to you. Boink, 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 boink. Boink. But always remember, keep turning the paper. So your eye is always traveling and your pen is always traveling. Boink, 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 boink. Boink. Boink, 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 boink. Boink. Dabba 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 do. Do. That's Bugsy. That's how Bugsy talks. I'm gonna draw another one here. And I like circles because there's no beginning, there's no end. Everything is equal. I can't figure out if that's my favorite shape or if squares are. I love the symbolism in squares, the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 elements, blah, blah, blah. What I like about squares is each line has to support the other. If it were a real, when it's a real thing, a square is a box. Each side has to support the other, so they have to work cooperatively. So I do love squares. Triangles are the same thing, but I don't love them as much. I like circles. They make me happy. Okay, so I've drawn a whole bunch of circles in. I may want to draw more later, but right now we're going to draw a few... No, we're going to take our skinny pen, take our skinny Sharpie, and we're going to draw lines in the circles like we did in Be Kind. And remember, it's just doop, 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 doop. And they can go outside the lines of the circle. It's okay. The big thing is remembering to turn your paper. Pardon me. Excuse me again. Excuse me. Burping, so rude. Budsy's eating more food. That's a good boy. He's feeling so much better. I can hear him in there eating his food. As he's feeling gooder and gooder, betterer and betterer. I also mixed his medicine in the food, so his day will feel good. You see this? I'm going outside the lines, and I'm not worrying about it. And see how the lines are in all different directions? Because I'm turning the paper. And it makes this feel a lot freer. Going outside the lines, having them shoot in different directions. Turning, turning, turning. Makes it feel free and calm and happy. Bah, bah, bah. That's how Bugsy talks. Bah, bah, bah. Anyway, I always thought you had to have everything perfectly straight and within the lines. And then just through experimentation and doing it on my own, I learned this is way more fun. Ow! Lamp. Okay, so I've got all my circles with lines. Now I'm going to doobie-doo. I'm going to take my little pen, rather, and I'm going to do what we did up here. I'm going to go outside the feather, kind of sketching. And this can be very uncomfortable to do. Where is it? There it is. Going outside the lines and sketching on and around the solid lines that we've made. And then adding skinny lines as well. See that? Right down there. I'm going to add skinny lines on the inside here and there. And it may be hard and uncomfortable at first. Like that one doesn't feel really good to me. But we have to warm up. And we'll get there. I think maybe... There, I turned the page. Now that feels so much better. I was coming at it from the wrong angle. So it feels a little bit better. It's not perfect. It's fine. There is no perfect back. Stop saying that. So I'm going to go outside the lines. Making lines coming into the center of the feather. Okay, we're just warming up. So if it doesn't come out exactly the way you want it to, I don't want you to worry, okay? See how I have lines in some places and I don't in others? Just the feather. Sometimes we can see detail, sometimes we can't, and it's okay. Let's keep going. I think I'm going to turn my feathers upside down or something. Oh, here comes the garbage man. Oh, I just remembered something. I like to put curved lines. Look at, watch. Okay, don't watch. Curved, little bitty curved lines on my feathers. I'll show you in a sec. Where is that? Where's the curved lines I drew that made me happy? Right there. Curved lines coming out. They're not perfectly straight. They're kind of swoopy. They're a little swoopy. See? Swoopy, 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 swoopy. I'm going outside the lines. I'm drawing all kinds of swoopy lines. I'm drawing straightish lines. So that's it. Turn in my paper, which as I said is very important. It is so important. That's how Bugsy talks. It is so important. The main thing about this is, I think I'm going to add a dark line in here, is to just have fun. What I did was I just went in and added a little dark bit. I'll show you in a sec. So that it adds something interesting. See? Just a little dark bit. Forget to sketch over that center line too. There goes my feather. I'm going to speed up drawing because we're getting close on time. Not that close, but we might decide to add something to our free form, so I just want to make sure I have enough time. So I'm just going to speed up. So in being kind to myself, I try and make sure I have plenty of oranges and apples at home and at work. No candy, no donuts, nothing like that, because that makes you sick and it makes you tired. It's not good for you at all. But I have found something delicious that my boss thinks is gross. Chocolate hummus. It's dark chocolate, so it's not too bad for you, but you can't eat a lot of it. But it's really good with apples or oranges. Chocolate hummus is made of chickpeas, and that sounds disgusting, but it's not. It's like pudding, but you don't eat it like pudding. I like to have it on rice crackers, but I really like to have it on apples and oranges. Because apples and oranges make you poop, and we love to poop. Pooping is good for you. I'm just going through them very quickly, sketching in the lines. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Two most important things in what I'm doing: not really paying attention. Ow! Stop hitting the lamp and turning the page. I'm just letting the pen do what it does. I'm letting the feathers be who they want to be. And I'm giving this rhythm. And the nice thing is, they're not going to be quote-unquote perfect, and I'm sorry to use that word. I just don't have another word to use. They're not going to be like something you would print off the computer, where nothing's out of place. They're all going to be out of place. All their lines are going to be doing things they probably wouldn't be doing anywhere else but in our drawings. And that's what makes them perfect. And when we're all done, they work together as a unit to make the entire thing just so much fun. An our version of perfect. I gotta come up with another word because it's a dumb word for drawing. I had a friend who was a painter, and he said to me one day, let me show you. I keep making these little dips in the feathers using the fat pen. And it just kind of breaks everything up a little bit. Anyway, he said to me, you should trace. He was a really good painter, but he traced all of his images. He projected them onto the screen, this image or images onto the screen, and then traced them with a pencil and a pen, and kind of drew them. So he would make sure that the image was photogenic and something people would like. It was just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I loved his paintings, they were fantastic. But he said, you should do this, you should trace. That way you'll have everything, again, perfect. And I said to him, Dan, why would I want to do that? And he goes, well, because your paintings are a little messy, and he's going on and on. Well, that happens to be what I like about my paintings, and what other people like about my paintings. They show how to paint. My paintings are about how to paint. And they're about the adventure in painting, like the adventure in drawing right now. This should be fun. This should be an adventure. Okay. A couple more feathers to go. How are we doing on time? Uh-oh, getting down to it. Too much talking, Miss Lane. Okay, I think that's it. For this part of it anyway. Okay, there it is. All the feathers are filled in. You can screenshot this, and then you can turn it and turn it and turn it to see what I've done. But right now, we are running short on time. Right now, I just want to start drawing in some leaves. So again, like our other leaves, we're going to take our skinny pen this time and just draw in leaves. Our Scooter Town leaves. So it's a line down the middle, just like the feathers, a line down the middle, curvy line, just like we've been doing. Curvy line, line down the middle, curvy line, line down the middle, curvy line, line down the middle, curvy line. It's like the spine of the leaf, just like in the feather. The feather has a spine right there. But watch, I'm drawing fast, I'm barely paying attention, which may or may not be a good thing. But we're having an adventure. Sorry I'm moving so fast, I apologize. It's just, yeah. This is going to shut off, or I'm going to have to shut it off in a bit. Shut my mouth and shut it off. Now the funny thing is with Dan Dan is, sorry to be mean, excuse me, that was mean. The funny thing is with Dan, with his lack of adventure in painting and wanting everything to be safe, you know, through tracing and, you know, making sure the colors are exact, like he printed it out of a computer, is he really didn't sell anything. He picked out, well, actually, his mother picked out his ideas for him out of magazines, and then he traced them. Well, as it turned out, he really didn't sell anything. He, not that that's the full test for your abilities as an artist. I think he's a great artist. He just lacks imagination and the courage to be who he is. Which at times was kind of turdy, but there we go. But to be who he is as an artist. So now he's moved to a new city, and he's going back to school. And from what I hear, he's trying to learn how to be himself. And that's what we're doing in drawing like this. Just being yourself. Cares what anybody else thinks. We're being kind to ourselves by finding ourselves and our abilities and learning in a space where you can. You're not being graded. You're not being told what to do. We're just having an adventure with pens. Okay, I'm going round and round, drawing my little leaves in, straight line in the middle, curvy line on either side. And I think I'm just about done. Oop, that corner. Line down the middle, curvy line, line down the middle, curvy line, curvy line. How are we for time? We're getting there. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is just add, we've got, see all those little leaves everywhere? Feathers and leaves. I think I'm just going to do what I did in my other drawing, draw a stick and little berries on it. Just a few. I can't even find it. Stick, little berries. Stick, little berries. Okay, right there. So we've got a different texture going on. So a line down the middle, circle, 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 maybe another line, circle, maybe another line, circle, circle, circle. See? Right there. Line, circle, 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 circle. Line, circle, 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 circle. See right there? I'm going to keep doing this. Freeform. We are being successful at freeform and being ourselves and not being afraid. We are so courageous. We are so strong. A lot of people won't even try. And look at you. Look at us. We are brave. We are very brave. Drawing tiny sticks, tiny circles in other spaces. Line down the middle, circle, 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 circle. They can be on the stick, they can be on either side of the stick. It's up to you. This is your drawing. Stick, circle, 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 circle. If I wasn't clear, I just want to show you. That is all we're doing. Stick, circle, circle, circle. See how one of them is covering the stick? Because it doesn't matter. We're just being brave. We're being super brave and adventurous and having fun and learning. See how quick I'm doing it? Not thinking, just doing. circle. Okay, we're going to have to close this out in 3 minutes, or maybe 4. So maybe we can do this. Maybe we can actually finish it in one video. So I've got all my circles, I've got all my feathers, I've got all the stuff going on. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead again. I think I just want to make this a little bit softer. So I'm going to just draw a line kind of going around things like that. Nothing pre-planned, just kind of drawing around them. Ooh, that's fun. All right, maybe we will have to finish this in the next video, so I can show you exactly what I'm doing and you can follow it or not. It's up to you. Dooby-doo, dooby-doo. I think with that feather sticking out. I think I want that feather sticking out. So what I'm going to do, dooby-doo, what I'm going to dooby-doo, after laying down my lines, is cut this out. And it looks like I have a little bit more time. I have like 2 minutes before the iPad runs out of time. I'm going to cut around the feathers in some parts so they're sticking out. I'm going to follow my lines. I'm going to not follow the lines I just drew framing this, because I'm on an adventure with pencils and pens. I'm experimenting just like you, I'm learning just like you, and I'm having fun. Because there is no one who's going to come along and tell me I did it right or did it wrong. Because it ain't none of their business. And there's nothing wrong with what we've done. I don't think I can stress that enough. In a free-form drawing like this, we're drawing our personalities. In anything we do, we're drawing our personalities. This is who we are. We're drawing our hearts. The air in our hearts. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, I'm not liking that big space. So I think I'm just going to cut around the feathers. See? Not worrying about it. Oh, that's going to be fun. Cut around that. I don't want any sharp edges, though. Not in this project. I want soft. All right, how are we doing? Okay, we've got 1.5 minutes, I think. So this is what I've done. I've just cut around. That's it. I've just cut around and around and around. And I think we could do something interesting on the inside there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to show you one of my other favorite things to do, because we're going to pull this all together very easily. We're going to follow the lines that we just cut, but on the inside with our big thick pen, like that. And this is going to frame it. I'm going to run ahead because we really only got a couple seconds. Dooby-doo. I'm going around some of the images, but I'm following the edge. And I tell you what, this is about to cut, it's going to shut off in a couple seconds. So we'll finish this up in the next video, and then we'll do another project. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Look at, see, that's what I'm talking about, sort of. Okay, gotta go. All right, thanks. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao.